Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to give a review on a book which is Our World, Our Home. So I have already have given a review on 10 chapters of this book. So we will continue chapter 11 in this video. And chapter 11 is leadership, raising the change makers of the raising the change makers of the future. Leadership is the primary motivator of all major change in history. Whether it has been civil rights movements, environmentalism, environmentalism, business innovation, or humanitarian activities. Great leaders have left their mark on the world in massive ways. Leadership, however, is not merely a matter of occupying a seat of authority. It is about motivating change, creating collaboration, and making tough decisions with integrity. The challenges of today's world require a new type of leadership. We need leaders who not only know what they are doing and know things but also act ethically, empathetically, and with foresight. Leadership cannot be confined to the political arena and corporate boardrooms. But must be developed in communities, classrooms, and workplaces to enable people at very level to take ownership of building a better tomorrow. This chapter delves into the nature of leadership, the characteristics that make great leaders, and how we can develop the next generation of leaders who will propel the world towards peace and sustainability. The essence of leadership. Leadership is sometimes mistakenly equated to a title or position, but real leadership is a matter of action and of influence. A leader is more than a person who gives orders, but a person who inspires, encourages, and elicits the best from others. They don't ask for loyalty. They command respect by what they have as vision, hard work, and integrity. At its essence, leadership is a matter of service. The greatest leaders in history, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., and Malala Yousafzai, did not aspire to power for personal ends. Rather, they dedicated themselves to larger causes, giving their lives to justice, equality, and peace. They encountered obstacles, resistance, and in many instances, personal cost, but their unshakable commitment translated to enduring change. Conversely, weak leadership is motivated by ego, short term considerations, and self interest. Leaders who are more concerned with their own ambitions than with the welfare of their people breed corruption, injustice, and social conflict. There are numerous historical examples of dictators, immoral business leaders, and ethnocentric politicians whose actions have spawned war, economic ruin, and ecological devastation. Leadership is not good or evil, not good or evil in of itself. It is a matter of the values and motivations of the leader. The world today requires leaders who place the common good above self interest. who decide on the basis of wisdom and long term consequences, and who recognize that leadership is not a matter of dominating people but of serving them. Leadership in a changing world. The leadership landscape is changing. Leadership used to be hierarchical, with one person at the top deciding for others below. Today, the world needs collaborative, flexible, and decentralized leadership. With globalization, fast paced technology, and interconnected social issues, no institution or individual can tackle problems by themselves. Leadership now needs to be about partnerships, shared accountability, and inclusive decision making. One of the greatest leadership changes has been the emergence of youth movements. Youth leaders are taking action unprecedented ways, disrupting all frameworks and forcing leaders to take action on issues such as climate change, racial justice, and human rights. People such as Greta Thunberg, Malala Yousafzai, and Joshua Wong have demonstrated that leadership is not age but a matter of courage and determination. Their activism has engaged millions, demonstrating that youth are not only the future but also the present change force. Moreover, the age of the internet has changed leadership too. Social media has enabled digital activism, whereby people and communities can mobilize, raise awareness, and organize with unprecedented rapidity. But it also has presented problems such as misinformation, cyberbullying, and polarization. Leaders have to master these virtual spaces with responsibility and integrity, ensuring that technology is employed as a means to advance, not divide. Today's leadership has to be ethical and sustainable as well. Business executives, for instance, cannot prioritize profit alone. They have to take into consideration their business's effect on the environment, employees, and society in general. Governments have to look governments have to look beyond partisan political benefits and strive towards policies that bring about long-term prosperity. Leadership has to adapt to a world that is networked, changing very fast, and confronted with issues of existential concern like climate change, like climate change and social inequality. The role of emotional intelligence in leadership. The conventional models of leadership tended to stress authority, strategic thinking, and technical proficiency. These traits are still valuable, but leadership today increasingly demands high emotional intelligence (EQ). The capacity to recognize, manage, and utilize emotions well. Leaders with low emotional intelligence cannot relate to people, establish trust, and create teamwork. Emotional intelligence leadership includes a number of essential elements: self awareness, empathy, flexibility, and interpersonal skills. A self aware leader knows their strengths and weaknesses, is receptive to feedback, and constantly strives for personal development. Empathy enables leaders to listen, comprehend, and respond to the needs of others, making decisions that take into account various viewpoints. Flexibility is important in a world of fast change. Leaders need to be adaptable, open minded, and ready to learn from failures instead of fighting them. One of the most important features of emotionally intelligent leadership the greatest leaders establish cultures wherein individuals feel appreciated, heard, and encouraged to give their best. They do not lead through fear or intimidation, but by inspiring innovation, collaboration, and a collective sense of purpose. Unfortunately, many leadership failures stem from low intelligence. Leaders who lack self awareness make impulsive decisions. Those without empathy disregard the needs for others. And those resistant to change become stuck in outdated ways of thinking. To develop effective and compassionate leaders, emotional intelligence must be integrated into education, corporate training, and leadership development programs. Leadership by example, the power of integrity. Leadership is not words, it is action. A leader's credibility is established not by what they say, but by what they do. The most highly respected leaders lead by example, modeling honesty, integrity, and accountability in all areas of their work. They practice the values they demand of others, establishing a standard for ethical conduct. Integrity in leadership requires making the proper decisions, no matter how challenging they might be. It entails not compromising principles for expediency for personal benefits. Leaders with integrity earn the loyalty and respect of their subordinates, but individuals who indulge in corruption, lying, or dishonesty immediately forfeit the right to be heard. History is full of failed leaders due to a lack of integrity. Political leaders who vote to bring justice but practiced corruption, entrepreneurs who cared more for dollars than for ethics, and activists who preached equality and practiced selfishness. These people are all reminders that integrity is essential for real leadership. But integrity is not perfection. The greatest leaders will fail. What distinguishes good leaders from the rest is their reaction to their failures. Those who those who own up, apologize where needed, and do better earn respect and hold on to those who deny errors, deflect blame, or are unwilling to learn from criticism erode their leadership. Integrity based leaderships need to be promoted at every level of society. Ethics needs to be taught in schools. Ethics needs to be taught in schools along with leaderships. Companies need companies need to be transparent and corporate responsible, and political systems need to make leaders accountable. Only through the promotion of a culture of integrity can we guarantee that the leaders of the future will be deserving of the trust placed in them. Developing leadership in the next generation. Leadership is not an innate quality that people are born with. It is developed through education, experience, and mentorship. In order to create a better future, we need to invest in the development of leadership skills in young people, giving them the skills and mindset to address the world's most critical challenges. Perhaps the best way to cultivate leadership is through education. School and colleges need to do more than provide academic courses and include leadership training in their syllabi. Courses that promote public speaking, problem solving, collaboration, and making ethical choices empower students to gain confidence and get ready for leadership positions. Experiment, experiential learning like community service, student government, and project based learning also trains youth to take charge and collaborate with others. Mentorship is also a key to developing leadership. Teenagers who are exposed to quality mentors, whether educators, business leaders, or community figures, are more likely to acquire the strength and advice necessary to overcome challenges. Mentorship offers a framework for support through which up and coming leaders can learn from veterans, be exposed to the realities of real world decision making, and learn emotional intelligence. Parents, teachers, and society in general need to empower young people to take on leadership roles. Too frequently, adults hold on to leadership, keeping young voices silent. But as observed in youth movements around the world, youth have the passion, imagination, and vision to create meaningful change. By providing them with spaces where they can express themselves, engage in decision making, and assume leadership early on, we are confident that the next generation will be ready to assume responsibility for forging the future. Leadership in the context of social responsibility. Authentic leadership has nothing to do with personal achievement. It is about leaving a positive mark on society. Leaders who are only interested personal achievement, wealth, or prestige usually end up not achieving sustainable change. Instead, those who prioritize social responsibility leverage their power to enhance the lives of other people and serve the greater good. Corporate executives, for instance, can dictate sustainable business practices. Firms that place emphasis on CSR, reducing carbon footprints, fair labor practices, and giving back to the community show leadership beyond profits. Those businesses that pay no, no heed to such responsibilities might enjoy short term financial gains but eventually lose credibility and reputation. Political leaders are also deeply obligated to lead with integrity, openness, and impartiality. Policy must be Policy must be shared to meet people's needs and not the interest of a few. Corruption, nepotism, and expedient political politics undermine trust in leadership and dismantle societies. Those who focus on social justice, equality, and sustainability build better and more durable nations. Even at the community level, leadership in social responsibility can manifest through grassroots activism, volunteerism, and civil engagement. Local leaders who address social issues such as homelessness, education disparities, and environmental conservation set examples of leadership that are deeply rooted in community well being. Every person, regardless of their official title, has the potential to lead by taking responsibility for their community and advocating for positive change. The value of visionary leadership. The most effective leaders are visionaries. People who look beyond the present issues and envision a brighter future. Visionary leaders are not limited by the confines of the present. They plan ahead, foresee obstacles, and motivate others to strive towards a distant objective. Visionary leadership is particularly important during the times of crisis. When the world is beset by problems like climate change, economic turmoil, or social unrest, it is the visionary leaders who bring forth creative solutions, unite people around a shared cause and act with boldness. In the absence of such leadership, societies are static, reactive, and unable to cope with the challenges of the contemporary world. But vision is not enough. Leaders need to communicate it and make it happen as well. A vision that never becomes real, with no practical steps taken to put it into action is just a thought. Successful leaders segment their vision into workable objectives, involve stakeholders, and generate momentum for significant change. Visionary leaders also accept change and ambiguity. They recognize that advancement entails taking risks and that not all endeavors can be successful. Learning from mistakes, making course corrections when needed, and adhering to a higher purpose is what differentiates great leaders from common managers or administrators. Collaborative leadership, the power of teamwork. Leadership is a team effort, although history may tend to bring the spotlight onto individual leaders. Most effective organizations and movements rely on teamwork and collaboration. Good leaders understand how to surround themselves with skilled, diverse people and create a sense of teamwork and shared mission. Collaborative leadership demands effective listening skills, humility, and good delegation skills. Leaders who think that they alone possess the answers or who are unwilling to give out tasks cannot succeed. However, leaders who empower others, listen, and make inclusive decision making process increase the strength of their team and generate improved results. One of the biggest challenges in collaborative leadership is managing diverse opinions and conflict resolution. In any team, conflicts are unavoidable. Good leaders manage such conflicts by creating open communication, promoting respectful disagreement, and making sure all voices are heard. They establish trust among the team members and a culture in which diverse opinions are appreciated. In global governance, businesses, and communities, the ability to work across cultures, industries, and disciplines is essential. The world's biggest problems cannot be solved by any one person or nation alone. Collaborative leadership, which emphasizes partnership and shared accountability, is the key to addressing complex challenges and driving meaningful progress. Leadership and resilience, navigating adversity. Every successful leader must encounter setbacks. One of the most defining traits of great leaders is resilience, which means they are able to rebound from adversity, learn from failure, and carry on regardless. Without it, leadership implodes under criticism, opposition, or unexpected crisis. Strong leaders do not perceive failure as deceive, but as a chance to develop. They recognize that each test holds a lesson, and rather than brooding over errors, they adjust, improve their strategies, and move ahead. This attitude is particularly important in today's rapidly changing world, where leaders need to navigate economic transformations, technological revolutions, and social movements with resilience and resolve. Resilience is also mental and emotional toughness. Leadership can be only stressful and draining. A call for responsible leadership. The world today needs leadership that is responsible. The crisis of climate change, inequality, and geopolitics demand leaders who lead with wisdom, integrity, and foresight. Leadership should no longer be about power for the sake of power. It should be about serving people, preserving the planet, and building a sustainable and equitable future. Leadership is a responsibility to each and every one of us, not solely to those in power. In government, business, schools, and even in community service, African can lead by example. Exercise good judgment in their choices and contribute to the common good. Real leadership is enabling others, encouraging cooperation, and creating a world that works for everyone, not just the elite few. If we desire to witness change for the better in the world, we need to develop visionary, ethical, and resilient leaders. We need to invest in education, mentoring, and community involvement that helps develop these qualities. Leadership is not in only for today, it is for creating a future for tomorrow and the years to come. Summary of Chapter 11. Leadership is service integrity in making a lasting difference. Leaders are not motivated by self interest but by a sense of justice, sustainability, and the common good. Through developing emotional intelligence, resilience, and teamwork, we can grow the leaders who will meet the needs of the world today. The future is dependent on ethical, visionary, and inclusive leadership. So, this is all we have from this chapter of the book Our World, Our Home. I hope you guys like this chapter, get the right information. If you did, don't forget to press the like button. I'll be back with another video with another books. Till then, just take care and goodbye.